Today I'm going to show you how I make this vertically oriented card holder. If you have any questions, as always, just leave them in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them when I have time. Okay, so the genesis of this project, I used to buy those cheaper card wallets that you get at like Macy's or Nordstrom, $15 to $25 sort of thing, and they were the horizontal style. The problem with those is that they weren't of very high quality. Leather, not real leather, really just kind of a PVC or sort of a bonded leather. You know, to get a decent card holder was like usually between $150 and $200, and it's just like I don't want to pay that. So I started making them. This is a design that I came up with. The reason I made it vertical versus horizontal is when it's vertical, you have a lot more room for the material to grab the card. And I sort of call this postage stamp style colloquially because we've got a cutout and a flat area similar to what postage stamp perforation looks like. But you notice it's two materials. So on the inside, this is veg tan leather, and this holds the shape of the piece, and it also acts as a sort of a springy holder to keep your cards in. If I show you this up close, you can see that there's a bend in the top. And that bend is what's going to hold your cards in over time. So if I shake this thing violently, the cards move a little bit, but they don't actually fall out. And this is 2 years old. You don't see any kind of flaking. You don't see any tears, or it's not falling apart. It still holds tension, and just overall just works really well. So you've got one slot on either side. I usually put 1 to 2 cards in there. And then you've got a slot on the bottom that can be used for business cards. You can shove cash in there, little bags of whatever you want to toss in there. So that was kind of the genesis of like why I put this together and sort of how it's designed. Now I'm going to show you guys how I make it, so stay tuned. Okay, so I'm just making sure that my workspace is clean. I'm going to grab the 2 types of material that I'm going to make this wallet out of. The lighter one you could see is a vegetable tanned leather, and I'm just kind of inspecting it to make sure there's no defects or scratches or brand marks or anything. So I'm just threading these pieces through. You can see they interweave together, and despite being die cut, they never quite fit together perfectly. So just making sure everything fits well and looks okay, and then I'll get ready for the glue up portion. So glue up one side, you place it, make sure it's aligned, and then you glue up the other side the same way. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. And this glue, if it gets onto the finished surfaces, it comes off really easy. Like I said, it's a water-based glue. Now we're going to go to the sewing machine. I typically do the first few stitches by hand, and then I'll go into machine stitching, and then I'll finish up by hand. So you can kind of see I'm putting in the first stitch. So now we're going to stitch along that curved edge. So you can see I'm coming back, and I'm actually gluing it again. So this isn't a replay or anything. This is actually just a secondary part of the process. You can see I'm just putting a little bit of extra glue on the edges. That kind of holds the back tacks from the inside, keeps them from unraveling. And then you just sandwich it up. Now you can see I'm just doing the stitching lengthwise. I start in the last tack hole, and I back tack, move forward all the way to the end, back tack, and then I clip it, flip it over, and do the next side. And here I'm just kind of trimming up some of the excess fuzz and take it back to the table. So at this stage, we've got everything glued up and stitched up, but we need to start with some final finishing. Basically going to trim down the sides. I'm going to even out the variance and the width here with the Dremel, and then we're going to polish and slick it up. You can maintain the upkeep on this just by rubbing some chapstick on it, or you can buy one of the fancier expensive balms. So that's pretty much it. That's how I make my vertically oriented card holder. Thanks for watching.